Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this May the 27th, 2023. I'm hoping everybody's having a great Saturday out there so far. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay. In today's video, we're going to talk about the satellite loop for the Northwestern Tropical Atlantic and the Eastern Seaboard here as well. As you can see here what I got on the screen here. Also, we're going to take a look at the weather radar across the nation. We're going to take a look at the watches, warnings, and advisories. Also, we're going to take a look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook for your Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And also, we're going to take a look at the Climate Prediction Center outlook for the next 8 to 14 days in the temperatures and precipitation. Okay. If you're a new viewer and have not subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. Love to have you. Like these videos, share these videos, and hopefully I will be at 400 very soon. If I could get some help from the community, that would be wonderful. I'd greatly appreciate it. South coast here of the United States, back into portions of the Ohio Valley. Also, we have a little spin down here in the coastal areas of the southeastern United States. We got some scattered activity down here toward the Bahamas. This little system here is going to continue to scoot on off to the northeast and not be a factor in nobody's weather at all. It's going to just continue to lift on out to the northeast there. The only one we just have to worry about is this little spin here as it continues to lift off to the north and to the north. It's going to lift off to the north. Should make a landfall somewhere around South Carolina or and then move on into North Carolina. So you see this little dry air slot trying to break into the system here. Some of the dry air is trying to get wrapped up in the system, so that way it kind of knock off some of that heavy precipitation, making it on shore, and kind of the system kind of weakens a little bit. So hopefully maybe we'll get a little bit of a dry slot later on this afternoon here in parts of the Carolinas. But I do expect more activity to develop probably later on this afternoon and evening as that low continues to move inland across the Carolinas. Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and move on to the weather radar across the nation. Sorry about that pop-up. That thing pops up every time I try to do the forecast. It seems like it. But anyway, we got scattered activity over southeastern Canada. There's that little low pressure system down here off the southeast coast producing all that rain and thunderstorm activity along from the coastal waters all the way back into upstate South Carolina, back into North Carolina, and back into southern Virginia. All this activity will continue to push off to the north and to the west. So you guys over in eastern Tennessee, also over in the Kentucky and the West Virginia, and then eventually it will continue to push on into portions of Ohio and Pennsylvania later on tonight for you guys, and also on your Sunday. In Puerto Rico, got a few scattered showers around the island there as well. I got some scattered showers around the Hawaiian island there as well, and also down here in central and south Alaska as well. Guam, the radar is still not working in y'all's area because of that major hurricane that moved through that island there. So the radar loop is not working in there for a while until power is restored, because I think most of the island, the power has been knocked out for just about all of the island, I think. So it's going to take a while to get them back up and running again. Also, we have scattered shower and thunderstorms over northwestern portion of Mississippi. Got a few scattered showers over Alabama as well, and also down in southern Louisiana and the Gulf of Mexico. Also, we have scattered showers over here in Texas, back in the northern Mexico. Also into portions of New Mexico, and also into portions of Kansas, also into Colorado, Utah, and the Wyoming, also in the North and South Dakota as well. Southern Canada, Montana, back to Wyoming, also into Oregon and Northern California, Nevada, and Idaho as well. So if you're in these areas here where you're getting a little bit of rain, You're going to get a little wet today and a little gust, maybe some gusty winds and maybe some severe weather over here in this portion here where I'm circling here for today and for the next several days. Alright, let's move on to the watches, warnings, and advisories for your location. We still got special weather statements for northern Maine, northern portions of Vermont and also in the New York State. We got some flood advisory, flood watches in effect for the Outer Banks of North Carolina down toward the Wilmington area. We have some storm warnings in effect for offshore waters. Gale warnings also extended from the mid-Atlantic region down to the east coast of Florida around the Miami area. Also, we have some hydro issues there over eastern Florida. Got that lake wind advisory over South Carolina and east central Georgia. Also, we have some flash flood watches in effect for northwest Mississippi. Air quality alerts for portions of Arkansas, back into Oklahoma, and also into Texas and southeast Texas as well. Flood watches, flash flood watches in effect for northern Texas and eastern New Mexico. Special weather statements for portions of Wisconsin and also into Minnesota. Still got them area rivers overflowing. So got them area river flood warnings still in effect for North and South Dakota. Also over here in portions of Colorado and New Mexico as well. Idaho and Nevada. And also some over here in California as well. We got a red flag warning in effect for southeast Arizona. Flood watches also in effect for northeastern Montana. Got a flood warning, flood advisory over portions of eastern Washington State from a thunderstorm. Also some flood advisories over portions of southern Idaho as well. Also into portions of Colorado there also. We got some flood warnings in effect for southern Nebraska. I think for some of that rain you've seen on the radar in that vicinity. So may you decide if you encounter a flooded roadway, turn around, don't drown. Alright, we got some flood watches and flash flood watches and special weather statements for Alaska, and the Hawaiian chain island looks a-okay. Alright, we're going to move on to the Storm Prediction Center Outlook page for today. You can see we got general thunderstorms down here in southern Florida, around the Florida Keys as well, in the central and eastern North Carolina, all of South Carolina, eastern Georgia. Also general thunderstorms over here in northeast Louisiana, eastern Arkansas, back into western Tennessee, northwest Alabama, north central portion of Mississippi. General thunderstorm from central Texas back to New Mexico, all the way back to California. Also back over to portions of Washington, Oregon State, Idaho, Montana, North and South Dakota as well. We have a marginal risk extending from the Texas-Mexico border all the way to the Canadian border with the U.S. there in Montana into portions of North Dakota. We have some slight risk areas here in portions of Colorado back up into southeastern Montana and southwestern portions of North Dakota, western portions of South Dakota, western Nebraska, and eastern Wyoming as well. Also down here, a slight risk also in effect for portions of the Panhandle of Texas and also back into eastern portions of New Mexico. And if you're in the marginal risk, this includes Denver, Colorado, Colorado Springs, Colorado, Aurora, Colorado, Amarillo, Texas, Thornton, Colorado. Also, a slight risk include Lubbock, Texas, Rapid City, South Dakota, Cheyenne, Wyoming, Clovis, New Mexico, and Hobbs, New Mexico. Let's take a look at the tornado probability for today. We have a 2% over here in portions of Wyoming, South Dakota, Nebraska, and the Colorado. Also over here in portions of Texas and also in the New Mexico, we have a 5% there as well. And if you're in the 5%, this includes Clovis, New Mexico, Cleveland, Texas, Portal, New Mexico. The 2% include Colorado Springs, Colorado, Lubbock, Texas, Hobbs, New Mexico, Plainview, Texas, and Cinnamon Hills, Colorado. The wind probability, we have 5% in the brown, extending from the Montana to South Dakota, all the way down to Texas, 15% here in Texas and New Mexico, and also into Colorado and to portions of Montana and southwest North Dakota. And if you're in the 5%, this includes Denver, Colorado, Colorado Springs, Colorado, Aurora, Colorado, Amarillo, Texas, and Thornton, Colorado. 15% include Lubbock, Texas, Rapid City, South Dakota, Cheyenne, Wyoming, Clovis, New Mexico, and Gillette, Wyoming. Let's take a look at the hail probability for today. We have 5% still in the brown from Montana to North Dakota, all the way down to Texas. 15% down here in portions of Texas and New Mexico. Got a significant hail threat there in portions of Texas and to portions of New Mexico, and also 15% up here in portions of Colorado, all the way into Montana and southwestern North Dakota. And if you're in the significant severe weather, hail probability for today is Clovis, New Mexico, Lebanon, Texas, and Patel, New Mexico. 15% include Lubbock, Texas, Rapid City, South Dakota, Cheyenne, Wyoming, Clovis, New Mexico, Hobbs, New Mexico. 5% include Denver, Colorado, Colorado Springs, Colorado, Aurora, Colorado, Amarillo, Texas, and Thornton, Colorado. All right, let's take a look at your Sunday outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. We still had them general thunderstorms over here in portion of Virginia, West Virginia, all the way down into to the Carolinas, also down in southeast Florida, including the Florida Keys. Also general thunderstorms all the way from Texas to portion of New Mexico, all the way into Wyoming, back to California, all the way into portion of Oregon, back into portion of northeast portion of Washington State, Idaho, now Montana to North Dakota. We still have a marginal risk from the Canadian-U.S. border from North Dakota all the way down into Texas. And we have a slight risk also in portion of the northern portion of the Panhandle of Texas into portion of Kansas and eastern and southeastern Colorado. Excuse me, if you're in the marginal risk, this includes Lubbock, Texas, Amarillo, Texas, Midland, Texas, Odessa, Texas, and San Angelo, Texas. The slight risk include Garden City, Kansas, Liberal, Kansas, Dumas, Texas, Bogart, Texas, and Guyman, Oklahoma. The tornado probability for your Sunday. We have a 2% chance down here in portions of North Texas into Kansas and eastern and southeastern Colorado. This includes Garden City, Kansas, Guyman, Oklahoma, and Lamar, Colorado. Alrighty, the wind probability. 5% to Brown from North Dakota down to Texas. 15% over Texas into portions of Kansas and eastern and southeastern Colorado. The 5% include Lubbock, Texas, Amarillo, Texas, Midland, Texas, Odessa, Texas, San Angelo, Texas. Also, the 15% include Garden City, Kansas, Liberal, Texas, Dumas, Texas, Guyman, Oklahoma, and Lamar, Colorado. And let's take a look at the hail probability. We still have that 5% in North Dakota down into Texas. Also 15% over here in North Texas, all the way into portions of eastern Colorado and also western Kansas. The 5% include Lubbock, Texas, Amarillo, Texas, Midland, Texas, Odessa, Texas, and San Angelo, Texas. The 15% include Garden City, Kansas, Liberal, Kansas, Dumas, Texas, Bogart, Texas, and Guyman, Oklahoma. That takes care of all of that. Let's move on to your Monday forecast from the Storm Prediction Center, the severe weather outlook that is. As you can see, we still have general thunderstorm from Washington, D.C. area back to portions of southeast Ohio, West Virginia, eastern Kentucky, eastern Tennessee, back into the Carolinas, central and southern Florida, including the Florida Keys. General thunderstorms also from Texas all the way to Montana to portions of Minnesota, back into portions of Nevada, back into California, and Washington in Oregon State. I mean Oregon, that is. Washington, you're in the clear. So it's Oregon. I get my states mixed up sometimes. Sorry about that, folks. But we got North and South Dakota under a marginal risk. And if you're in the marginal risk, then this includes Bismarck, North Dakota, Minot, North Dakota, Medan, North Dakota, Jamestown, North Dakota, and Perry, South Dakota. The probability is 5% in that area. This includes the same areas: Bismarck, North Dakota, Minot, North Dakota, Medan, North Dakota, Jamestown, North Dakota, and Perry, South Dakota. Alrighty, and finally we're going to wrap it up with the Climate Prediction Center 8 to 14 day outlook with the temperatures and precipitation. We're going to start off with the temperature outlook. We got near normal for eastern portions of Maine, back into portions of eastern Connecticut. Also, we have normal temperatures, near normal temperatures expected for portions of Wisconsin, Michigan, back into portions of Kentucky, Illinois, Missouri, all the way back into portions of Northern California. We have below normal temperatures expected for western portion of Maine, all the way back into eastern Minnesota, down into the southeast, including the mid-Atlantic, even including the south. Also, we got well below normal temperatures expected in the southwestern United States, from Texas all the way back into southern California, and also into central California as well. We got above normal precipitation in the north and also northwestern United States. This includes Wisconsin, Iowa, back all the way to portion of Washington State. They're going to be well above normal over here in portions of Washington, Idaho, western Montana, and northeastern Oregon as well. So going to be some warmer than normal temperatures in that area. This is valid through June the 3rd through the 9th of 2023. Also, we have on the north and central portion of Alaska, got above normal, got the central and south, near normal to below normal temperature in Alaska. Let's take a look at the precipitation. We got above normal precipitation over Maine, back in the portions of Connecticut, New Hampshire. Also below normal precipitation over the Great Lakes, including New York, all the way down to portions of Ohio, and also into portions of West Virginia, northern Kentucky. Also back into Minnesota. Well below normal precipitation expected over Wisconsin, also back into portions of Michigan. Near normal precipitation expected from North Dakota, South Dakota, all the way into the mid-Atlantic region and portions of the Northeast. And also we got above normal precipitation for portions of the Carolinas, down into Florida, back to Louisiana, all the way back to portions of the Pacific Northwest, over here into Washington State, California as well. Well above normal precipitation expected over portions of Colorado, back into Nevada and Utah. Near normal precipitation over in the southwest in Arizona and southern California. Below normal precipitation for eastern Alaska, central Alaska, near normal, and west Alaska, above normal precipitation there as well. Okay. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well. Enjoy the weather, because it's the only weather you got. Like these videos, share these videos, and consider subscribing. Love to have you. And we'll catch you back in the next one.